A beautiful fall day today. It's one of those gray days that's just sort of, it's not raining or anything, and I don't know if it will, but I really like cool fall days, of course, and I love gray days. I never say that gray is one of my favorite colors because some people don't agree that it's a color, but I do. I really love gray. So anyway, this is a perfect writing day, and today I'm really in the mood to write something that's really full of ambiance. I'm just in the mood to kind of write the ambiance, not even necessarily too much of a plot line, and there is one piece that I need or I want to do that for that is, stop laughing, but another unannounced work in progress. It's a totally different one. It's this one that I'm doing sort of on the side without, I don't like to announce a lot of these things until I'm sure that they're going to come out. I want to publish them and that, I am going to finish them relatively soon, anything like that. So this is another one that hasn't been announced, but it's sort of something I've been thinking about for a while, and a lot of times these things need to mull in my head, just sort of sit there and develop on their own. So that's something that I think I'm ready to do now, and I do have a particular notebook for it. So I'm probably going to give that a shot today. As you can see, this year I'm sort of being a random NaNoWriMo and writing whatever I feel like. In the past I have tried to write entire books and do the 50K thing, or even just set another goal and like word count goal and work on a particular piece. But this year I'm just really feeling jumping around. I was planning on working on Greed the whole time. I haven't really touched it except to read it, which to a degree is disappointing, but I'm just sort of going with it and making sure that I do some kind of writing every day, and that's feeling really good for me. So I'm just going to keep doing that, and I'm really enjoying doing these videos and these vlogs. I'm really into it. And this is what tends to happen during NaNoWriMo. I get really excited about the videos and I do them a lot, and the writing is also exciting for me, but they're two totally different kinds of creativity, and I feel like one feeds off the other. So I'm really enjoying doing that. And if you are someone who is sort of interested in doing videos or something other than writing that's creative, it does actually help your creativity for writing. It can help you write more too, just by being in the creative spirit and doing more with creativity sort of more often or more around the clock. I really like that, so these videos are part of that. Also, I meant to tell you that the character I was working on yesterday, where I had said I don't know him well enough and I need to figure out his psychology a bit more, I also figured out that it seems that I need to start from the beginning with him. Now, a lot of times with my stories, especially the Dark Victoriana collection, I have to start somewhere in the middle and just write whatever is coming to me. And for this one, it seems like it needs to start at the beginning. I have now a total of 3 alternate beginnings for the next Dark Victoriana collection book. So that's a lot of fun. That's a new one for me. I don't think I've ever had that many alternate beginnings. With Lock and Key, I just had totally different idea and totally different approach, and that changed completely. And with this, I've got 3 different beginnings, which is really interesting, and I know which one I'm going with for sure. 2 of them. One of them, the first one I wrote, felt totally wrong. The second one was better, but it went after what I was going for too fast so that it didn't really work. And the third one seems to be the one I want, but I need to flesh it out and I need to do a lot more with it. And that seems to be where I need to start. I need to start with that scene more. Like I said, I did write it, but I didn't write it. And I think that that is the thing that I'm going to have to do now. Also, I'd like to lodge a miniature complaint about subscription boxes, and that's that you can't just order one if you want to just try it out, or if I want to, like, sometimes I just want to get one to see what it's like, or because I like that particular one, or just so that I can open that on air for you guys because I think it's a lot of fun. But you can't do that. And I have a complaint. I would like to lodge a complaint. Where can I do this? All right, it's the end of the night. It's getting kind of late, but I'm a writer. Staying up late is pretty much part of the job description. So what I wanted to bring up now is I wanted to tell you I am, like, just I'm ending up randomly working on different works in progress instead of focusing on one work in progress. And I saw that one of my author friends, Chrissy Moon, is doing the same thing. I think she said she's working on like 4 of them. And so I thought it might be interesting to talk about when it's a good idea to work on multiple things and when it's not such a good idea, when it means that you just don't have a focus and you may not publish something. So there was a time when I was first writing Anatomy of a Darkened Heart that I was really excited about it, but I also had another idea for a medieval story that I really wanted to do. And that was actually going to be a duology, which would have been quicker. But I was noticing that I was splitting my time and I wasn't really getting too far on either of them. And with that, what ends up happening, at least for me, I knew at that point, okay, if I'm working on them equally and I can't really focus on either one, then that means that I'm not going to finish either one. And I need to pick one and go with that. And then the other one, I need to just continue to take notes and write things down as they come to me, but not write them seriously, trying to perfect them or anything like that. So I decided Anatomy of a Darkened Heart was the one that I really needed to write and publish. And then the other one, which, I don't even remember. I think it had a work in progress name. I don't know. I haven't worked on it in a while. I did exactly what I said. I took a bunch of notes and I held on to any scenes that I wrote in full. I didn't stop myself. I just didn't try to perfect it or expand on it on purpose. And I have to say it worked out really well because I was able to publish Anatomy of a Darkened Heart on the timeline that I wanted to. And then I decided that instead of moving on to that second work, that other work in progress, that I wanted to continue with the Dark Victoriana collection and just go straight for it. So that worked out really well. I was happy with how that worked out. And I had reasons, like I described to you, for why that made sense. Right now, working on multiple works in progress, it's again more of a note-taking type of thing. The only things I'm writing scenes for are things like if it comes to me naturally and I say, well, I have a lot of inspiration for this and I really want to write it down, so I do. But the only thing I'm working like harder on is something that I know that I'm going to publish, which would be the Dark Victoriana collection, so the next book in that, and Greed, which I also know for sure I'm going to publish. I'm not exactly sure when. I wanted it to be next just because I know it's halfway done. So that I would work harder on. It's just that I can't work on it during the day because I don't have any notes that I can bring with me. They're all in Scrivener, and I need to work on it at home. I just need to. So when I want to work on something during the day, the Dark Victoriana collection is something that I would focus on, and then anything else is something I would take notes on. Because of that combination, whatever I work on during the day, it doesn't really matter as much because I can just take notes. So I'm writing whatever is coming to me, and it seems to be flowing right now. It seems to be, making me feel very creative, and so I'm going with that. And then at some point, when I have a night that I don't have other stuff going on a whole lot, I will definitely work on Greed. And I'm really excited to finish that off because it's an easier thing to work on than the Dark Victoriana collection. It's not historical fiction, so there's a lot less research involved. So if you're trying to decide whether multiple works in progress are okay for you or whether you are wasting time and should be working on just one thing, I hope that that explanation of how I feel about it and why I chose what I chose when helps you decide too. So let me know in the comments if you're doing multiple works or just one work and how you decide. And I hope your nano is still going well. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I will see you soon.